I want to thank y'all for tuning in to HB's Point of View. It's cold out here. Sleet coming down. But I was just around the house checking a few things out. And this story here, man, it kind of tripped me out a little bit. So I'm going to get into it. I ain't going to waste no time. And then we going to dive in.
This case should be closed.
Renee Jordan says her daughter, Deonna Jackson-Bowen, was a family-first kind of person.
She was just bubbly, like always over here, loved to cook and everything. And they used to, I got two other children. So it's three of them. So they always at each other's house, on Fridays, who's doing the fish, who's doing this, and stuff. And she was the big part of the family.
Renee says Deonna had 3 kids who were her world: a 12-year-old son, a 2-year-old daughter, and a 1-year-old son. Deonna worked full-time as a dietary worker at a retirement home, and Renee says that the residents loved her.
The residents there, she made sure that everything was okay with their food, what they wanted, anything extra, and they say she went above and beyond to make sure that the residents was happy.
But that joy that Deonna brought to so many people was taken away on midnight, July 30th, 2019. Deonna was shot to death in her car on the 1400 block of Rutger near the Peabody housing complex where she lived.
Like I said, man, it's sleeting out here and everything. Son had a snow day, so I can't really post up. I wanted to bring awareness to this right here. This shit is so real. This could be your sister, your mother, your auntie, your cousin. You know how it goes.
Deonna was in her vehicle that night, and we think that she might have been being chased around the Peabody housing complex by our suspect.
Renee believes that this could have started as a domestic dispute.
Women, check the energy of these fellas. Check the energy. If the energy ain't right, the vibe ain't right. It's men out here and it's some mice out here. And I ain't talking about rats. I mean, that street talk. I'm talking about it's some men out here and it's some mice.
Renee believes that this could have started as a domestic dispute. She thinks Deonna knew this person and went to her car to keep the situation away from her kids.
We think she was circling around trying to get away from him, and eventually the suspect caught up with her and shot and killed her.
Renee got the call while she was at work. Her daughter murdered, her 3 grandkids motherless.
I know we all done heard that saying, the good die young, but it's a difference between dying and getting murdered. Right or wrong? It's a difference.
Me and my husband, taking on 3 kids. I have an elderly mama's in the back. She's 80 that I take care of. So now I'm like, I got to get a house because I got mom. I got 3 kids, that I got to take care of. Life is changing.
She says she hasn't had much time to grieve. There's school and daycare and attorney fees to get custody of the kids. But sometimes it does all catch up to her.
But it's just hard.
The 12-year-old is in therapy, and the 2 youngest will have vague memories, if any, of their mother.
You see the pain on that mother's eyes? Them tears real.
The person that have to do this, even if somebody makes you mad. Can I get some tissue, please?
Let me get some tissue. That's what she said. Let me get some tissue.
Some tissue, please. Even if somebody makes you mad, she didn't deserve that. She did. To take her away from her kids, that need their mom. Even though I'm grandma and I'm going to take care of them the best that I can, but it's their mom. She was 30. She was young.
See, it's easy to take a life. It's hard to replace a life. I'm going to say that again. It's easy to take a life. It ain't easy to replace a life. Everything ain't got to be settled with guns. What happened to the fighting? What happened to using reason? What happened to having sense? I mean, I ain't that damn old. But I'm going to say in my day, women and children, man, we wasn't on that. Never been on that.
Lieutenant Aubuchon says that they have a person of interest in this case, but they need a little more from the community.
She was driving through the neighborhood, maybe fleeing somebody driving quickly. It drew some attention.
Renee says Deonna would take her neighbors to the grocery store or braid kids' hair for little to nothing. She took care of her neighbors and now is hoping that those neighbors help police and take care of Deonna.
Crazy out here. You know what? It's crazy. And this is for the women out there, man. You know what? Some guys, when you split with them or whatever the case may be, guys be so damn miserable. They don't want you to do well. They don't want to see you rise. They don't want to see you keep grinding. And even if you're taking care of their kids, sometimes they so hot at you, they'll take you out. They're not even thinking about the fact that their child ain't gonna have a mother no more.
To know her and not say anything is sad.
Reporting, I'm Katherine Hessel, Fox 2 News.
Crime Stoppers is offering up to a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in this case. You can email or call Crime Stoppers, and remember that all tips are anonymous.
Like I say, we all links in this chain. What you do affects your neighbor. What you do affects your brother. And definitely what you do affects your mother and father. For sure. It definitely affects your kids. For sure. Quit playing, y'all. We got to use our brains out here. In the words of the great late Pac, use your brain.